Hey, what's up? This is Ben from WODprep, and I am here to teach you the top 5 skills that you need to learn before the 2022 CrossFit Open. Yes, my favorite time of the year is here. It's where many of you have probably found WODprep, and that's during the CrossFit Open. I absolutely love the CrossFit Open, and if you or someone you know hasn't ever registered, please do me a favor and sign up. It doesn't matter what level you are at. The CrossFit Open is a really, really fun time to test your fitness against your friends and the rest of the CrossFit community from around the entire globe. You can test against your age bracket, you can test against different ability levels, scaled or RX or masters or adaptive, and it's a blast. So highly recommend that you register. I know I will be registering, and I'm gonna encourage everybody on my team and everybody on my email list and everybody on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram to do the same. So with that being said, I'm gonna go from the 5th most important skill all the way down to the number 1 most important skill. I wonder if you can guess what it is, but there's one skill that doesn't take that much physical strength to learn. It's more of a coordination thing, but once you learn it, boom, your open scores will drastically improve. So the reason that these 5 movements are picked out is because it's almost 100% chance that they will show up in some capacity in the Open. The Open is 3 weeks long. It starts on February 24th. There's probably going to be 3 or 4, maybe even 5 workouts in that window, and those workouts will host at least a couple of these skills. I wouldn't be surprised if 4 or maybe even all 5 of them show up in some capacity. If you want to get free training to help you get better at all the 5 skills that we're gonna go over, then I have lots of free training that I'll point you in the right direction at the end of this video. We also have some training courses that can help you fast track your success with each one of these skills. So the goal of this video is for you to pick out maybe 1 or 2 things to practice and really, really dive into between now and that start of the 2022 Open. And if you can do that, I promise you your scores are going to drastically improve no matter which division you're in. Skill number 5 is muscle ups. Now, I know that's a difficult movement, and actually, in terms of the 5 movements that we're going to talk about, the 5 skills we're going to talk about today, muscle ups is the hardest one. But the reason it makes the top 5 of movements that you need to learn before the Open is because just simply being able to get 1 muscle up jumps your score up thousands and thousands, potentially tens of thousands of places. Here's what I mean. Oftentimes there'll be some sort of workout, some sort of test during the Open where at some point, maybe later in the workout, you get to that bar or you get to those rings and you have to do muscle ups. And for a lot of people, that's where the workout stops if they're doing the RX division. And that's totally fine. I think it's perfectly fine to sign up for the RX division of the Open, even if you can't do any muscle ups. I've seen so much Open magic happen, and I highly encourage you to take a chance. What's the worst that could happen? But I will say this much, if you are able to unlock just 1 muscle up, whether it be bar or ring, it makes your score jump up tremendously because there's tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of athletes that get to those rings or they get to that bar and they're just like, well, this is where my workout ends. So if you're one of the lucky few who can learn how to do a ring muscle up or a bar muscle up, I don't care about big unbroken sets. In fact, I've seen people absolutely crush Open workouts without doing any unbroken sets. Just quick singles works, or for a lot of us that are maybe on the edge of that scaled and RX division, sometimes all it takes is just getting 1 rep. So a couple different things that you can do. Obviously, we do have lots of training on YouTube about it, but a couple quick points that I want to give is that when it comes to your first kipping ring muscle up and or your first bar muscle up, the thing that I like to use is that box drop in method. So what that does is that gives you extra momentum to help you get over that bar or get over the rings to get the muscle up. It is legal. I've checked. Don't worry. It's something that hundreds, maybe even thousands of WODprep followers have done over the course of the past few years once we started suggesting it. So do yourself a favor. You can see in these overlay videos what I'm talking about, but we have some more in-depth detailed tutorials about it here on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or inside of our courses for that particular movement. But if you can master just getting 1 or 2 consistently, the other thing that I'm going to mention is that you need to be able to do them when you're tired. So there are probably a lot of us that can come in and they can do bar muscle ups fresh, or they can do ring muscle ups fresh. But hypothetically, after a lot of burpees and thrusters and stuff like that, the chances of you still being able to do that movement under extreme fatigue probably have dropped. So that's why I think it's really important as you're practicing over the next several weeks, trying to gear up for the open, make sure that you're trying to do these things really tired. Maybe do a full Metcon, do a full workout with your normal class, and then afterwards see if you can hit some muscle ups. If you can, then you're probably going to be ready to go, and you'll at least be able to accumulate that 1 rep, because again, that 1 rep sometimes makes all the difference. So skill number 4, it's not really a skill, or a lot of people don't view it as a skill, and that is burpees. So skill number 4 is burpees, and you're like, Ben, burpees are easy. You just get on the ground and then get off the ground. Well, I think that's the problem with a lot of people's burpees. You see, when you start to treat burpees not just as this like raw cardio, just hustle movement, but you actually start to focus on your technique and treat it just like you would any other skill in this sport, you will really start to see your effectiveness, your efficiency, and your mechanics improve, and you're probably going to end up less tired. The reason I know this is because we actually have a full-blown course called Burpee Blueprint, where we teach in-depth tutorials about how to maximize your efficiency for all the various kinds of burpees, because we have burpees over the bar, we have bar-facing burpees, we have burpees over the box, we have burpee box jump overs, we have like all kinds of different types of burpees that we can do. Maybe there's going to be a row, so we're going to do burpees over the rower, or the erg is what it's called. So there's so many different variances of burpees. It's important to make sure that you're able to do them effectively. If a workout only has 10 burpees per round, I might hit that a lot quicker than a workout that has 50 burpees per round or something like that. The efficiency, and whether you're stepping up or jumping up, or are you going for like really, really fast, high intensity burpees, or are you trying to be slow and smooth? Oftentimes what I notice is that people they don't care about their burpee form, they just get it done. And then what happens is they wind up getting way too tired. They use too much of their chest, or if the workout is very hip dominant, they use too much of their hips. So the bottom line is you need to start digging into your burpee efficiency. How can you do a burpee like a robot with smooth, effective movement that doesn't vary from rep to rep? I want you to be able to do burpees extremely tired and extremely fresh and have them look the same. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So sometimes doing slow but smooth burpees is better than crashing and burning and then having to rest a lot at the bottom, or just sit there and bend over and grab your knees and breathe really hard. So we want to try to start treating burpees as a skill, because there is nearly a 100% chance that they will show up in some shape or form in the open. Skill number 3 is toes to bar. Toes to bar are a movement that kind of fly under the radar. It's a movement that maybe isn't as sexy as things like muscle ups and pull ups and handstand push-ups and some of the higher level skills. But toes to bar absolutely wreck people in the open, and it's a skill that I think a lot of people undervalue. A lot of people can hop up on the bar and they kind of do some death swings. They just flail their legs around and maybe they'll accumulate a few reps, but they kind of swing around. Maybe they have 1 or 2 extra swings in between each rep, or maybe they can do sets, but the sets absolutely crush their abs and hip flexors and arms, and maybe even the grip. What matters with toes to bar is similar to burpees. We want to have smooth, efficient, and steady toes to bar. So for a lot of you watching, and I know this is going to sound crazy, for a lot of you watching, even doing singles for toes to bar when it comes to most open workouts is totally fine and acceptable. Because for toes to bar, it's not about getting through them as fast as possible. It's about getting through them smoothly so they can get on to the next modality. Now, it does vary depending on the workout. Hey, if it's 50 toes to bar for time, then I want you to go as fast as possible. But if toes to bar are mixed in with other modalities that maybe really use your core, you have to be cautious not to overdo yourself. A common problem that I see with a lot of gymnastic skills is people go for these big, sexy, unbroken sets. I remember doing an open workout with one of my friends. Her max lifetime PR unbroken toes to bar was 15. The first round of the workout was, 15 or 20. And guess what? She did every single one of them unbroken in the first round. And then, shockingly, she crashed and burned the rest of the workout. The bottom line is I would rather see singles. I'd rather see small sets of 3 or small sets of 5 than these like big, sexy, unbroken sets, because ultimately that's going to cause you to burn out, especially when it comes to open workouts where we're a lot of times taxing our hands, we're taxing our core, we're taxing the muscles that are used in toes to bar. So, as I've mentioned earlier, one of the best things that we can do for some of these gymnastic skills, if you've never gotten a toes to bar, you've never actually successfully gotten your toes to the bar, is that box drop-in or some sort of swing where I'm swinging my feet up. If you're someone who's trying to finally unlock being able to do multiples together, the cue that I want to give you is to make sure that you drive your head through on the arch of your kip. We have lots of videos about detailed coaching when it comes to the intricacies of this movement. So I can't go into super detail here. I just want to let you know that you should probably practice your toes to bar because it's kind of low-hanging fruit. I don't think it's necessarily that difficult of a movement, but so many people, because it's not so difficult, they don't give it as much attention as they should. So focus on your toes to bar, and I promise you that's going to pay dividends because it's almost guaranteed to show up this open. Movement 2, you probably saw this one coming. It's pull-ups. When it comes to pull-ups, there's a few different variants, but the most common one in the open is chest to bar pull-ups. This is similar to both toes to bar and muscle ups, and here's why. For a lot of us doing the RX division, there are maybe some people who can do the RX division, but the only couple movements that they can't do are like pull-ups and muscle-ups. So pull-ups can be treated the same way, where maybe when you finally get to the part of the workout that calls for a chest to bar pull-up, just by doing 1 or 2 reps, you're really separating yourself from the field that can't do that and has to scale down. So that's how it's similar to muscle-ups. It's similar to toes to bar in the sense that so many people go for these huge, big, unbroken sets. They start a workout and they're like, I feel great. I'll do 20 unbroken chest to bar pull-ups. And they use every ounce of energy that they have to get through the first round or 2 of the workout. And then poof, they're done because their hands are smoked. They might have torn their hands, which means they can't redo any workouts, and it might even affect the rest of their open. Or they're just completely burnt out with their pulling, so their arms are fried. The bottom line, again, here is slow, smooth as fast. Try to keep a steady pace on your chest to bar pull-ups, or whatever version of the pull-up is going to be in your division. What matters is not getting through big sets. What matters is getting through the entire set in an efficient manner. So again, I will often, if you've ever watched any of my open videos, you'll probably notice I talk a lot about doing singles. There are actually some very, very high-level competitions that have been won and have been, maybe not lately, but like back in the day, some of the regional competitions, people would do singles and get through the workouts totally fine. As long as you're smooth and efficient and effective, you don't have to hit big, sexy, unbroken sets. Instead, singles or sets of 3 or sets of 5. I know in most open workouts, I purposefully limit myself to no more than 5 unbroken because it spikes your heart rate so much and it fatigues you so much. I'll force myself to keep smaller sets. You need to make sure that you're proficient at pull-ups, and if you're going to focus on any kind of pull-up, make sure that you're focusing on chest to bar. So being able to hit the bar to your collarbone or below. It's really important. I know a lot of people can't quite get those last few inches, and you guess it, we do have videos on the internet that can help you get better at chest to bar pull-ups. We've reached the grand finale, and a lot of you know exactly what's coming. This movement is very important, and the reason I have it ranked number 1 in terms of movements you need to learn before the open is because it doesn't involve that much strength. A lot of the other things we've talked about are very strength-based. Maybe other than burpees, everything has some sort of strength component, and it's hard to develop strength in such a short window of time. This one is double unders. Double unders is strictly, almost entirely, coordination, and coordination is not everyone's strong suit. If you've ever been to a dance floor, you probably know what I'm talking about. Some people, they got the beat, and some people don't got the beat. So with double unders, you have to learn the beat. You have to learn the rhythm. And I know how frustrating they can be. Believe me, I was there. I've done that. I used to be the guy who would trip, and I'd have all these welts and whip marks on my arms and my legs and my ears and stuff like that. They're very frustrating to practice. But if you spend the next several weeks just focusing on practicing double unders 3 times a week for maybe 5 to 10 minutes per session, I promise you will drastically increase your ability to perform in the open. And the reason this is such a big deal for the open is that the difference between having double unders and being good at them and like barely being able to do them, maybe not being able to do them at all, or just tripping incredibly, is the people who are tripping or can't do them are absolutely freaking exhausted by them. But once you get a little efficient and you're smooth and you don't have to waste as much energy, double unders can almost, I know it sounds crazy, but they can almost turn into a rest within a workout. I remember the wall walk double under workout that we did in the open in 2021. The double unders were kind of a rest for me. Like, they didn't feel bad. The wall walks were what was exhausting me. But for a lot of people, the double unders in that workout were just drilling them into the floor. So what can we do? We can practice just a few simple drills, penguin claps. We can focus on maybe getting single, double just to keep the rope spinning. That's a problem I see a lot of people do, is they trip. Well, if that rope's not spinning, there's no way you can do double unders. But if you can maybe move to single, double, or a few singles, one double, a few singles, one double, then you're going to be able to accumulate reps. And then ultimately, the goal is eventually to get you to unbroken sets. And I think if there's one movement that we can make a major transformation on without having to learn any new strength, without having to learn anything other than just a little bit of coordination, it's double unders. And when you have double unders, your open score will drastically improve, because I'm pretty sure they've been in every single open. And I would bet a lot that they're going to show up in this open, because double unders are just a mainstay in CrossFit, and they're the bane of a lot of people's existence. So with that being said, I hope that you like this video. I really encourage you. I know this video might scare you, like, I don't have any of these movements. Just focus on one or two of these top 5, one or two low-hanging fruit for you to practice between now and the start of the open, so that you feel more calm, confident, and collected going into it. If you can knock out a few of these skills, or maybe even all 5, then you'll be in great shape for the open. And all of these things are very skill-based. So by watching some of my videos, even with 0 strength improvements, with 0 anything, and just a little bit of technique changes, by watching WODprep videos or taking our WODprep courses, you can make drastic breakthroughs. So if you would like to level up your training, we have free training guides. If you actually just go to the main page of WODprep.com, which I'll link below, you can choose which one of the 5 movements that we just covered, and I'll send you a free training guide for that movement. Or if you're someone who really wants to take their training to the next level, I have 2 different things that I want to offer you. Number 1 is WODprep Academy, where you can get every single one of WODprep's courses at a very low annual rate. That means you can get our pull-up program, our muscle-up program, our toes-to-bar program, our burpee program, and yes, our double under program, and at least 20 other courses, all under one roof for one low annual price. It's pretty much the best deal in the entire world. And if you want to get daily programming and coaching from the WODprep coaching team, then join WODprep Masters. WODprep Masters is basically daily programming, plus you actually get coached, if you want to, by our coaches. It's like an online gym. So if you want to come work out with us, then join WODprep Masters. All those links will be down below. And then the last thing that I want to link you to is the CrossFit Open. And I have a special message from a friend. Murphy, come here. Murphy would really like you to register for the CrossFit Open. He thinks it's really fun, and he's going to register, and I think he's going to do a really good job on the burpee box jump overs. And if you register, it's going to make Murphy happy. And right now he's sad that you haven't registered. Look at him. He really wants you to register. Please sign up for the Open. All right. That's all I got. See you next week.
Oh, buddy. You're so depressed. Why are you so sad?
You're so sad. Why? All right.